I suspect that my pregnant wife may have had an affair with her coworker. AETA for asking for a paternity test. Now? Picture this. You're about to start a family with the person you love most. You trust them with everything, but then something strange happens. Small changes, subtle signals, and a tiny voice in your head that you can't ignore. And now, you're left questioning everything. This story isn't just about suspicion, it's about trust, heartbreak, and the terrifying idea that the life you've built could be a lie. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's story is one you don't want to miss. A husband suspects his pregnant wife may have been unfaithful. And now he's faced with a gut-wrenching decision. Should he ask for a paternity test? The internet is buzzing with opinions. Is he justified in wanting to know the truth, or is he letting fear get the best of him? Should he ask for a test that could change his life forever, or is he the one betraying his own trust in his wife? Let's dive in and uncover what led him to this heart-wrenching dilemma. He describes their relationship as something out of a movie. They'd been together for 5 years, building a life and dreaming of starting a family. They were happy, and so was he, or so he thought. He never imagined he'd find himself questioning her loyalty. But recently, things started to shift. Subtle at first, longer hours at work, a little more laughter at her phone, and a growing distance between them. She'd been working a lot with this one coworker, a guy she mentioned now and then, never in a suspicious way. He tried not to overthink it, but slowly, things started to add up. She'd leave for work meetings after hours, and seemed less and less interested in spending time together. It was small stuff, but enough to make him wonder, is it just work, or something more? One night, she came home late, later than usual, and she seemed off, distracted. When he asked her if everything was okay, she said she was just tired. But something didn't sit right with him. He pushed the feeling down, hoping he was just overthinking. But in the back of his mind, the doubt continued to grow. Then came the news. She was pregnant. And suddenly, he was overwhelmed with emotion. He wanted to be happy. He wanted to feel that joy he'd always imagined. But instead, there was this gnawing fear in his chest. He felt ashamed of his doubts, guilty for not being fully happy. But those doubts wouldn't go away. It all came crashing down when he saw that message. His wife's phone was on the counter, and a text popped up from this same coworker. It wasn't explicit, just a simple, "I miss you." But it was enough to break the final thread of trust. His heart sank, and his mind raced with a million possibilities. Was he imagining things? Could it be innocent? Or was this proof of something more? For weeks, he wrestled with his feelings, trying to convince himself that it was nothing. But every time he looked at her, the question was there, lingering between them. Was this baby really his, or was he living a lie? He didn't want to hurt her, but he couldn't keep pretending everything was okay. In a moment of sheer desperation, he made up his mind. He needed to know the truth. He needed to ask for a paternity test, but he was terrified. Terrified of what she would say, what she would think, and what this would do to their relationship. He felt like he was stepping into a storm, knowing there was no turning back. Finally, he confronted her. He told her about his fears, his doubts, and his need for closure. She was shocked, angry even. She felt betrayed by his lack of trust. And for a moment, he wondered if he was making the biggest mistake of his life. But he couldn't go on living in uncertainty. She stormed out of the room, leaving him alone with his thoughts. He didn't know if he'd ever get the answer he needed, or if he'd just destroyed his entire marriage. But he knew one thing. He couldn't go back to pretending everything was fine. Not anymore. Now here's where I want to hear from you. Was he right to ask for the paternity test, or did he cross a line that he can never come back from? Relationships are built on trust, but when that trust is broken, how do you move forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you've been in a situation like this or know someone who has, share your story. Let's keep this discussion going. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.